Is marriage actually supposed to be hard? Because I think we've all heard this a lot, and I think it's really harmful. Think about the time when you and your husband took your kids swimming, and it was an absolute disaster. Your kids were crying, he wasn't helping, you had all this resentment, and you're really trying hard to remember what you read about John Gottman's book, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. You're trying not to be resentful. You're trying hard to be patient. Everybody's hungry, and you're trying to get sunscreen on, and you're burning and they're burning, and there's one kid drowning, and you're trying to get your husband to help, but he's on his phone. And he keeps giving you leave me alone looks. And when you're ready to leave, you have to round up all the kids all by yourself and carry all the bags, and everyone is grumpy and you're completely exhausted, and your husband's just texting on his phone. And then you get in the car and you get the silent treatment, and then you get home and there's a huge fight, and he storms out of the house, leaving you again alone to get dinner ready and all the kids to bed. And you're just like, this whole day was horrible. It was the worst day ever. I don't ever want to go out of the house again, right? Now let's contrast that with your relationship with your very best friend. If you don't have a best friend, just imagine it. So let's go through that whole thing again. But instead, it's you and your best friend taking your kids swimming. So now there's double the amount of kids. And when the little annoying things happen, like you forget the snacks, it's just funny. So instead of your husband blowing up because you forgot the snacks, she's like, hey, I'll watch the kids. You go grab the snacks. And you're like, perfect. Win-win, right? She keeps reminding you that you look so beautiful because you're super insecure in your swimsuit because you just had a baby and you have a different body and you feel a little bit self-conscious. But she tells you over and over again, hey, don't worry about it. Stop being so hard on yourself. You're beautiful the way you are. And no kids are drowning because together you're watching both of your children, and everybody has sunscreen on because you work together to get sunscreen on, and together you make a great team. You laugh a lot, the kids feel loved, you have some moments of relaxation, and you even feel calm enough to take pictures and make memories and maybe even swim yourself, which would be cool. And you really don't want to leave. There's no undercurrent of stress. She doesn't ignore you on the way home, and you go home feeling better about yourself, and your relationship with your best friend is stronger than ever. That's what a wholesome recreational activity is for, right? Bringing people together. So, isn't your husband supposed to be your best friend? Isn't he also the parent of your children? So let's change this from marriage is supposed to be hard to abusive marriages are really, really hard. Marriage should actually be the most wonderful relationship in the world because it's a partnership with someone that you love and care about, your best friend. As Patricia Evans talks about it, the power with dynamic, where together you're able to accomplish much more than you ever could alone. And yet he's just not interested in a partnership because abusers want to exploit their so-called partners because they're not partners, because they're in secret competition to see how much work they can get away with not doing. So every scenario feels difficult. If you can relate to this, leave a comment and tell us about it. And then head over to our podcast, btr.org. This is a subject that we discuss all the time, and I think you'll find a lot of validation there.